Good morning students. Let's see the continuity of D block elements. Today we are going to discuss about about 6D transition series. Already we completed 3D, 4D, 5D and the last transition series, that is 6D transition series. 6D transition series, and also equality is fourth transition series. This is related to seventh period of periodic table. Okay. So now, what are the elements in 6D transition series or in 7th period transition series? In this case, we follow the electronic configuration. So, what is the noble gas? Nearest noble gases: helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon. What is the atomic number of radon? 86. Xenon 54. Krypton 36. Argon 18. Neon 10. Helium 2. Am I right? These are the atomic numbers of noble gases. Remember this. So radon is radioactive element. Radioactive elements, and we call it is heavy metal, not metal, radioactive element. That means it releases high intensity of radiation by itself. Remember this. So very harmful. And we have the elements the series of elements from actinium, atomic number 80 actinium, and after that Rutherfordium, and this atomic number is 104 RF, Rutherfordium RF to UUB. I will explain what is UUB, and its atomic number is 112. Still it is going on its name. Okay. So in between actinium and if you observe the electronic configuration, it is 89. After 89 it is 104, am I right? 104. So in between actinium and Rutherfordium, there are 14 elements exist. That 14 elements called as actinoids. Already we discussed about lanthanide in 5D series. Okay. Now, in between actinium and RF, Rutherfordium, there are 14 elements are exist. That is called as actinide. Actinide starts from thorium. Atomic number is 92. And lawrencium 103. Okay, thorium to lawrencium 103. Okay, so thorium, after actinium thorium is there and 103 lawrencium is there. Okay, so the from thorium to lawrencium there are 14 elements are there. That 14 elements are act as in between actinides and RF. That 14 elements are called as actinides. Number of actinide elements 14. Remember this 14 elements. Except these actinides are not a, these are not a 6D transition series. 6D transition series. Except actinoids, the elements from actinium and rutherfordium to UUB, that is 112, is called 6D transition series. Okay, except these 14 elements. So the remaining elements from actinium to RF, actinium, and after RF to UUB. In between these elements are called as actinide. Clear? Remember this. Okay. Now the electronic configuration of 6D transition elements. Okay. How to write the electronic configuration of 6D transition series? We have to follow this order: n-2f, n-1d, and ns. Okay. 6D means what is the seventh period means n value is clearly 7. That means 7s, 7 minus 1, 6D, and n-2, 7 minus 2, 5f. This is the order. 5f, first electron enter into S, then F, then after 6D. The last electron, that is differentiating electron enter into D subcell. Differentiating electron, last electron enter into D subcell means we call it is D block elements. Remember this. So first electron enter into S, then after F, then finally electron enter into 6D transition series. Remember 6D orbital. Clear? So the last electron enter into 6D. So we call it is D block elements. Okay, not F block element. Remember this. The last electron enter into D here. So now, is it clear up to? So radon 86. Remember this. Why? Because here we used to write the electronic configuration. And we have the third B, am I right? And after fourth B, fifth B, and sixth B, seventh B, and eighth, and it is first B and second B. These are the groups, am I right? These are the groups. In which period? Seventh period. Seventh period means row. So columns are called as groups. Remember this. So the first element here, actinium. Its symbol is AC and its atomic number is 89. Okay, actinium. And after actinium, rutherfordium. So its symbol is RF. Atomic number is 104. Rutherfordium. Name of the scientist Rutherford. And fifth one, honium. The symbol is Ha. 105. After 104, 105. Honium. Ha. The next one, Seaborgium. Okay, the symbol is Sg. 106, Seaborgium. And borium. The symbol is BH. 107 borium and Hassium HS 108 and Mednium, the symbol is Mt, atomic number is 108, okay. And the next one is Darmstadtium, this is DS 110, okay, 110. These three are belongs to 8th. These three are belongs to 8th B group here. And after this, we have first B. That first B and second B is Rentgenium, that is Rg, atomic number is 111, okay. Rentgenium we call it is. And last one is, that is UB. U means here BM, atomic number 112. 1 means again 1 means 2 means by M, BM, okay, BM, okay, clear? So 1 means again 1 means 2 means by BM is called as 112. It is incomplete series, remember this. 68 transition series still going on. It is incomplete series, okay. Name of the elements still not introduced, okay. So it is incomplete series, still it is going on in innovation, okay. These are the elements which are present in 68 transition series, okay. Now this is DS, Darmstadtium, Mednium and Hassium, Borium, Seaborgium, Hafnium and Rutherfordium, Actinium. Now I would like to write the electronic configuration of this here. The first one, Actinium 89. So 89 means nearest noble gas. Radon 86, clear. After 5F, 6D, 7S. Am I right? First to write the electron in S, then write 86 plus 2, how much? 86 plus 2, 88. 88 plus 89, I think we are expecting this here, am I right? But this electron enter into this 6D1, remember this, okay? So that means the last electron enter into d orbital. So actinium is a d block, not a f block element, Actually it is 5F1 6007S2, but this electron enter into 6D here, nearly having similar energy. So that's why 5F1 electron enter into 6D1. So the last differentiating electron into d orbital, so it is belongs to d block element. Okay, first fill the electron in S, then we go for F, then finally here. But this electron enter into 6D in this case. Remember this. Is actinium d block element or F block element here? You should clearly say that is clearly d block element. Why? Because the last electron enter into 6D. Remember this one. Okay. And next one, Rutherfordium. Rn 5F 6D and 7S2, and here it is 14 and here it is 2. Okay. So 86 plus 4, 90 plus 1, 100 plus 4, 104. Okay. And radon 5F14 6D3 and 7S2 clear 105, and again radon 5F14 6D4 7S2, and borium radon 5F14 6D5 and 7S2. Remember this 6D5 in d orbital. Here we observed in the D it is stable. Why? In 6D in d orbital we have 5 suborbitals here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Am I right? 5. So completely half filled. Am I right? So that means stable or not? Stable. Like chromium. Okay, in that group, chromium. Clear? And next come to hafnium, radon 5F14 6D6 7S2. Clear? 108 means radon 86 plus 4 90 plus 100 plus 8 108. Clear? So come to here radon 5F14 6D7 7S2, and come to here radon 5F14 6D8 7S2. Clear ma up to this one, and come to this one. Okay, and we have to remember this here and this one. Okay, what about this electronic configuration? It is first A group elements. So radon 4, that is 5F14 6D9 and 7S2. Am I right? Expecting this, but here what happened? For getting stability, 5F14 one electron enter into this one, so 6D10 7S1. Clear? So here this 6D is completely fulfilled. Am I right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So completely fulfilled d orbital. Am I right? Completely fulfilled d orbital. Clear? D orbital. That means more stable. Am I right? More stable. Clear? More stable. So such phenomena we observed here, like copper also we observed, silver and iron. Okay, and here this one follow the same phenomena. All are belongs to first B group elements. Once check it the periodic table. So copper, silver, iron, iron, gold, and this one Rg. Rentgenium we call it is. These all belongs to completely fulfilled d orbital, but in S it has only one electron. Okay, so for getting stability, so the 7s electron enter into 6d. For iron, 6s electron enter into 5d. Okay, like that silver and copper also follow the same electronic configuration. One second. Okay, and last one anunbium. This is the IUPAC name. One means un means one, again un means one, bi means two. Anunbium. Okay, this electronic configuration is like Rn 5F14 6D10 7S2, like zinc, cadmium and mercury. Okay, this type of electronic configuration we observed in second B, that is zinc, cadmium, Hc. Remember this. Okay, this is okay. Now give the numbering to the group also. Third B means this is third group, this is fourth group, this is fifth group, sixth group and seventh group. Okay, clear? And here it is eighth group, and this is belongs to ninth and 10th one, and this is 11th group, this is 12th group. Remember this, second B or 12th group, both are same. 11th group or first B group. Okay, remember this. Okay, so these are the electronic configuration of 6D transition series. You have to remember that three. Okay, first B group elements like copper, silver, Au and Rg. One s electron enter into D for getting stability. Completely fulfilled d orbitals. Gets more stable. Clear, my students? Up to Second B, in the d orbital completely fulfilled, am I right? In the d completely fulfilled. D completely fulfilled, am I right? D is completely that means more stable. More stable. Remember this. Okay? Clear, student, up to everyone? So these are the introduction and electronic configuration of 4 transition elements. Okay? So special electronic elements, you have to remember that configuration: platinum, okay, copper, chromium, zinc, cadmium, Hg. Okay? So for this, how to remember this short trick, we have short trick to remember this order. Okay, A R S H B and H M D A R U U B. Okay, A R S H B, okay, sorry, H S B H M D A R. Okay, clear? So you follow this order, you can easily remember. Actinium, rutherfordium, hafnium, seaborgium, borium, and H means here hassium, meitnerium, and darmstadtium, and R means here ruthenium, rentgenium, and anambium. Okay, this is the order. In the next topic here, in the D block, general characteristics of transition elements or important properties of transition elements. So what kind of properties these transition elements have? Let's see. In that we are going to discuss about metallic character. Metallic character, this is the first property. Okay. So now in that, all transition elements are like metals, they shows metallic properties. So what are the metallic properties? How the metals are very hot. Some of the metals are brittle in nature. They are good electrical conductor. They have high melting point. They are high ductile nature and malleability nature, luster nature. These are all called as metallic properties. Let's see some important metallic properties which are satisfied or followed by these transition elements. Let's see. They have high melting point and transition elements have high melting point and high boiling point and also high density. They have good tensile strength. That means very strong. Tensile strength means very strong. Good electrical and heat conductors. They are ductile. Ductile means metal can be drawn as wires, like a ring or wires. That property of metal is called as ductile. Remember this. And malleable means metal can be drawn as thin sheets. Okay. They have hardness, that means very strong metals are, and also some of the metals are brittle nature. Okay, brittle nature. Okay, so now these are all properties are satisfied by metals. So the same properties are satisfied by transition elements. Remember this. Okay. So above properties reveal that metallic and covalent bonding exist in the atoms of transition elements. Suppose if you take one transition elements, it consists number of such atoms. In between the atoms there is possibility of metallic nature, metallic bonds and covalent bonding. Covalent bond and metallic bonds are possible in the case of transition atoms. Remember this. Okay. Which bond? Covalent bond. Remember this. And what type of nature they have? Metallic nature. So metallic nature means like first A group elements. What are first A group elements? Alkali. And second A group elements? Alkali earth metals. These are metals or not, except hydrogen. Okay. So these are also metallic character, am I right? So like lithium, sodium, potassium, all are metals. They form metallic bond. Metallic bond means metals easily lose the electrons, am I right? Metal easily lose the electrons and shows positive character after losing of electrons, am I right? This is the metal. Suppose it lose one electron and it shows +1 oxidation state, positive state. This is called metallic character here. Metallic character. Okay, that means transition elements ready to lose electrons. So they are metals and shows metallic character. Am I right? So if metal easily lose the electrons means transition elements have low ionization or ionization potential or ionization enthalpy values. Transition elements have low ionization values. Why? Because ionization energy means right, these students, ionization energy means this is the central atom. Suppose this is the valency cell, there is an electron at outermost valency cell. Ionization energy means the amount of energy is required to remove the electron from valency cell of neutral isolated gaseous atom is called as ionization energy. So suppose this electron is very close to this nucleus, we can offer more energy, we can use more energy to remove this electron. That means ionization energy values are very high. But what is the character of metal? Metal easily lose the electron basically. Am I right? Metals almost easily lose their electrons. That means ionization energy values are very less. Is it clear or not, students? So if you use small quantity of energy, you can easily remove the electron. Why? Because these are all transition elements are mostly metals. Am I right? Clear? So metals easily lose the electrons means we can offer least energy, lower energy to remove the electron. That means ionization energy values are lower or not? Lower values. So metals having low ionization energies. Okay, remember this. So why? Because they easily lose the electrons. So here transition elements also having low ionization energies values, and they are shows metallic character. Here metallic character means they can lose the electron readily. Okay, that nature is called as here metallic nature. Remember this. So these are some of important general characteristics in that metallic characters. Metals means such kind of properties they need to follow. Okay, and the next properties in that only, in the metallic character only. Some of the metals are very hot, some of the metals are brittle in nature, even some of the metals liquid also. Okay. So why the reason for hardness and brittleness of metals? That is covalent bond. Covalent bond is the reason for brittle nature and strong nature of metals here. Let's see. In that metallic character, covalent bond is responsible for hardness and brittleness of transition elements. Okay, more unpaired, that is single electrons, more unpaired electrons in d orbitals of transition elements in the valency cell, that is n-1d. Okay, this n-1d cell is called as penultimate cell also. Remember this, already we discussed about this penultimate cell. So more unpaired electrons in d orbitals of transition elements are unfilled d orbitals causes for covalent bond or favor for covalent causes or favor for covalent bond. So if unpaired electrons, that means single electrons in the d orbitals, then they can easily form covalent bond. Okay, remember this point. And number of covalent bonds is directly proportional to number of unpaired electrons in D, and it gives greater strength of covalent bonds. Then metals become strong or hard, stronger, hard. Okay. Absence of unpaired electrons or d orbital is fulfilled. D orbital is fulfilled. D orbital is completely fulfilled. Then the metal is in brittle nature. That means soft metal or smooth metal. Okay, smooth metal. I will give the example. For example, zinc, cadmium, and Hg. So these are soft metals. Am I right? Soft metals. Even mercury is liquid metal, almost in liquid state. It's a very, very important bit. Why? Because here in this case, suppose zinc, if you observe the electronic configuration, argon 4s2 3d10 or 3d10 4s2. So d orbital is completely fulfilled. Am I right? Completely fulfilled. So metals are soft in nature in this case. Why? Because no unpaired electron. Unpaired means single electrons. Okay. Even mercury is almost a liquid metal. So which of the transition elements act as liquid metal? Mercury. Remember this. Mercury. Very, very important. Okay. Mercury is the. And what about this one? Suppose chromium, molybdenum and tungsten, these are strong metals or hard metals. Strong metals are hard. So what is the reason for this? So if you observe the chromium, what is the atomic number? 24. And write it electronic configuration, argon 4s1 3d5. Am I right? If you observe D electronic configuration 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all are with unpaired electrons. Am I right? With unpaired electrons in D. So it gives strong nature. to the metal. Clear? So this is the reason why these three are strong metals. Remember this. Okay? And so unpaired electrons are possible, then strong covalent bonds are possible, and metallic bond is also very strong, and they are very strong in nature, otherwise they smooth. And best examples are here chromium, which is very strong. In the case of zinc, it is soft metal, brittle in nature, almost mercury, liquid in state. Am I right? So that is the bit. So liquid metal is which of the following is a liquid metal? Which of the following is a liquid metal? Option A, zinc, cadmium. Option C, Hg. Option D, all. Which one is correct one? Liquid metal is mercury. Okay, hydrogen. Okay, clear ma? And not one more important point here. So transition metals having different structures here. The arrangement of particles in the transition metals. Why? Because almost all are solids, like except mercury. The arrangement of particles in that element, suppose if we take zinc or cadmium or scandium, like that, what kind of arrangements they have, the arrangement of particles. So here transition elements exhibits three types of structures. So what are they? One is BCC type structure, and second one is FCC structure, and third one is HCP structure. So what are the meaning of BCC structure? Means body centered cubic structure, and face centered cubic structure. Hexagonal closed packed structure. And this is the abbreviation of this one. So this is the arrangement of particles in this type of structure. We will discuss about in solid state. We have separate unit, that is the first unit in second year chemistry. So what is body centered cubic and face centered cubic, hexagonal cubic structure? Means the arrangement of particles like cubic structure we will discuss in solid state. For example, in the case of body centered cube means, just see, suppose this is the cubic shape, am I right? Body centered means this is the particle, this is one particle or one atom of an element. Okay, these are the corners, 8 corners at 8 particle. Body centered means what is the center of the body? This. So 8 corners consist 8 particles, 8 transition, not element, atoms of transition element. Suppose mercury, if you consider, okay. So that mercury element consists number of mercury atoms. Now the arrangement of mercury atom element, in that element the particles, mercury particles are arranged like this. Suppose this is body centered cube. Body centered cube means like this. Face centered means along with corner. So each face consists one particle. So there is no body centered particle in that case. Face centered means along with 8 corners, 8 particles are edges at corners, and the cube has 6 faces, am I right? A room consists 6 faces, am I right? Like cube. So each on middle of the face, 6 particles again we have. Okay, 6 particles on the face. So this is called body centered face, and like hexagonal face also hexagonal structure, we have the structure here. So we will discuss in solid state. Remember, this transition elements process 3 types of structure in that body centered, face centered, hexagonal closed packed structure. Remember this just. Okay. And transition metals are luster means soft shiny nature is called as. So if you consider platinum, gold, they are in shiny nature, sharp shiny nature or soft shiny nature. Okay, so shiny nature is there. Okay, so that phenomena is called as luster or lustrous. Metals can show shiny nature, that phenomena is called as lustrous. Metal can be drawn as wires, that phenomena is called as ductile. metal can be drawn as thin sheets, iron sheets. So thin sheet, that phenomena is called as malleability of metals. Okay, so these are metallic character. This is one of the general characteristic properties of transition elements. Later we will discuss some important factors like atomic radius and ionic radii, ionization energy, alloys, and catalytic nature of transition elements. Okay, color properties of transition elements and magnetic properties of transition elements. These are some of the important properties what we have to discuss. Okay, so in that, magnetic property is very important, and colors, why transition element shows color. So what type of magnetic behavior they shows magnetic, that means paramagnetic or diamagnetic nature. So what the dipole moment means that decides the magnetic nature. If mu value become dipole moment, mu we can represent, already we discussed in first year also. If mu becomes 0, that is diamagnetic nature, mu not equals to 0, that is paramagnetic nature. So when these cases are happened, we'll discuss on tomorrow. Okay, have a nice day, students. Thank you very much for your cooperation. So first we have to write the notes properly. That's very important. Actually this concept also 4 marks question in IP exams also. Okay, so write the general characteristics properties of transition elements. That's very easy. Okay, so just we have to write at least 10 points. Okay, so in the IP point of view, which one is strong metal, which one is hard, which is liquid metal, the such kind of questions we have in EAMCET JEE also. Okay, so especially color property, catalytic property, magnetic property is very important. We'll discuss on tomorrow. Okay, thank you very much. Have a nice day.